this one thing about Trudeau on Colbert, this AI video that went like super viral in Canada.
Oh yeah, you got in trouble for that, didn't you?
No, I got in trouble for the Jake Tapper. I didn't get in trouble for the Jake Tapper one. I made this one about the exploding goats, basically when the pagers were going off, and then I said
right
goats, and then Jake Tapper messaged me.
What?
And he's like, I need to talk to you. And I was
Are
like,
you joking?
Oh, no. I'm friends with Jake Tapper now. And literally he messaged me because it went like mega viral, like tens of millions of views. And then he messaged me on Twitter and he's like, Danny, this is Jake Tapper. I need to talk to you.
Text him and tell him.
And I was like, I'm in so much trouble because I made 2 different ones. And then
Jake Tapper?
Well, I just thought he was like, stop using my face for your comedy videos. Like, stop it or whatever, or we're going to sue you.
Was he like, hey, this was really funny? And
yeah, he was like, can you make me a AI video for CNN because I want to do a segment about the dangers of AI. And I'm like, I'm the danger.
Did he do the segment?
Yeah, he did the segment. And then
I'm like, it's gonna show you with like a Hitler mustache. And
no,
he's like, this guy did this to me.
No, but then he's making it his like whole like top like concern right now is this AI stuff. And he went on Seth Meyers. He was talking about me and he called me.
Get him to tell his wife to drop out of the New Hampshire race because I don't want her to be my congressperson.
I mean, I have his phone number, but I'm not going to do that.
Give it to me.
No.
Jake, tell her to drop out.
She's running?
Yeah, she's running against Lily Tang.
She lives in New Hampshire?
Yeah.
For the purpose of going to
right, because he must live in
Congress.
New York.
I'm sure he
Well,
does.
sure lives in New
How long has she lived in New Hampshire?
I have no idea.
Oh, that's
long
crazy.
enough to be like, oh, I want to run for president. But she's totally backed by like.
She's trying to be
Hillary
what, a
Clinton.
congresswoman?
Yeah, she's trying to take the New Hampshire second Congress.
Shout out to Lily Tang Williams. I like her a lot. She's been on the show.
Lily's great. You should, if you're a voting kind and you're in New Hampshire, you should go.
She was
vote
from China. She understands big on gun rights. She understands self-sovereignty and how
Jake
important
Tapper's wife is a total like deep state apparatchik. No joke, she is.
Yeah, I believe it.
I'm not kidding at all.
So now you and Jake are tight.
Yeah,
you've been working on. So I want to see one of these videos.
Why don't you get him in a video with you and Ryan?
But you know what it is so I said this on the Boyscast, but so he basically was like, can you make me this video of me speaking? And he gave me like all these things to write. And I was like, sure, I'll make it for you. It only takes me like 20 minutes. And then in it, funny enough, he said, like in the text, he said, this video was made by this brilliant comedian, Danny Polishchuk. And I kind of like rolled my eyes. I was like, whatever, this is what he wanted. And then I made it and I was in a group chat with him and his producer. And then I sent them the video. And then she messaged me like off to the side, just one-on-one. She's like, hey, can you remake the video but just remove the word brilliant? But I was like, those were his words. I didn't even want to
say
that. What's that?
I would have just been like, sorry, that's what Jake wanted.
Well, what I understand is that
Or
I'm making fun of CNN.
You should have just said no.
Yeah, I'm making fun. Obviously, I'm like, CNN is somewhat the butt of the joke to a degree here, and they're trying to use this, and so he can't like totally endorse me publicly.
You could have taken out brilliant, but put like genius. Like,
Hey,
okay,
here you go. I fixed it. Mega genius comedian.
Handsome.
No, I just wanted you to just remove that. But
you said remove it, and I did.
And then he went
Never
on
said
Seth
don't put it again.
Meyers. Yeah, he went on Seth Meyers, and he's like, this comedian is making these gross videos.
Did they show a picture of your face where your skin was like turned green, like Rogan?
Oh yeah, no.
They're like, look at him, he looks terrible.
No.
So what do you think
It
about?
made you fatter.
What do you think about regulating AI?
Honestly, so I make all these AI videos. I've been making them for the last month, and like, there is some percentage, not a small percentage, of people who cannot tell the difference between real and fake things. Like, they just can't. I don't know if it's because their glasses aren't on, they're not paying attention. I don't know, but like the exploding goats video I made. That was the first one I made that went super viral. I got a Snopes fact check. Like, Snopes contacted me and they're like, hey, can I ask you some questions? We're doing a fact check. I'm like, you're talking to a comedian right now. So that should be the end of your fact check. And they're like, well, no, because there's all these people on Twitter who are saying that the IDF is Mossad is blowing up goats in whatever, Lebanon, like all these goats in Lebanon are exploding and people are saying this as fact. So we need to do a fact check on it. And there's some degree of people. Now, I don't know what if there's negative repercussions of that. Like, I think it's fine. I agree. It probably shouldn't be in political ads, but
Maybe it should be.
I mean, if it is, it'll get so out of hand. And I'll gladly, if anybody wants me to make them, I'm getting pretty good at
You
it.
just use like an app or what?
I use this thing It's actually just like an open source. It's called Easy Wave to Lip. It's like a GitHub repo, and then you just run it in a Google Colab, like just a source. It's really easy.
And then what do you make?
You just take in the source. So I write a script and then I put it into this like 11 Labs voice cloner thing, and then you just get a source. You get a source like audio, and then it clones it, and then you just export the new like the text, and then you just like sync them to the audio and video.
Does it make the mouth move like Jake Tapper's mouth move?
Yeah.
And it looks almost real.
Yeah, I made an Anderson Cooper one about the WNBA. And it's like you honestly, if you're looking at it, you can tell. But if you're kind of like, there's a lot of people who see these and cannot tell.
Especially on little
It could be because they have bad eyes. I'm not being joking.
No, seriously. Seriously.
And like the screen might be a little blurry, and so it just looks like Anderson talking.
See it in 480.
But I purposely make them like outlandish enough where you're like, clearly this is not real.
Why don't you make one right now where just like Trump won, it's over.
Well, because I don't want to get deported.
I agree with you about political. I think it's risky.
I mean, don't do that. Douglas Mackey, right? Like that guy's in jail for like 7 years.
Joke. That he didn't make it either.
I know. And I'm very conscious of the fact that I could cross some line and wind up in prison.
Yeah.
Just by making an AI video.
Like if I do one that I'm like, oh no, that's comedy, and they're like, yeah, well we don't.
You should make one of Ryan Long saying that.
I was gonna make one of him endorsing Kamala Harris.
Oh, okay, there you go.
That would be awesome.
Go check out Ryan's new comedy special, by the way.
Yeah, where is it?
It's on YouTube.
Ryan Long Comedy? Is it?
Yeah, Ryan Long Comedy.
Ooh, when did it drop?
It just came out like a week ago.
Is it offensive?
Man.
I mean, it is very offensive.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
We were
Problem
filming
solved.
we were filming jokes in the other room with the puppets, and because we got puppets of Richie and Mike, Special Mike made.
And you.
Well, the me one was from Jack Posobiec.
Oh, okay.
And so we had these other ones, and me and Richie were just goofing off and making jokes and being silly. And then I was about to start a joke, but Sam was filming, and I was like, wait, Sam, stop filming. And he goes, now I know it's going to be funny. He was right.
You're like, this could damage the brand.
Yeah.
No, it was a really dark one.
Oh, boy.
And I was like, we can't film this one. And everybody
mean?
agreed.
That's like, cool. Yeah, I could make an AI of all of us talking and saying wild stuff. And there is, not to disparage your viewers, but there is some percentage of people watching right now who would be like, is Tim actually saying this stuff?
You should take a transcription of what Seamus says about his faith and religion, but then make Ian say it.
Oh, that'd be great. And then make him say the stuff I say.
Or maybe Seamus talking about how much he loves the devil.
And DMT, yes.
That would just be like offensive.
Yeah.
Like having Ian preach about how he's a devout Catholic and he goes to church and reads the Bible.
How's that not offensive to me?
Yeah.
Because
just kidding.
You wouldn't be offended
It's
by
less offensive, but Seamus talking about DMT would
making
be great.
Seamus praise the devil would be
that.
But that's it. So you're like on the cusp of this stuff.
But I am, but it's like this, all this stuff costs me $20 a month to use all this stuff unlimited.
So it's pretty expensive.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's real cheddar. And it's like the learning curve, I could teach this to you in 5 minutes.
Well, why don't we do this in the members only?
Let's do it. We'll make one.
Let's make something crazy.
Let's do it. Yeah, it's really easy.
Let's make.
We can make it like a simple one because the problem is it takes time to render.
Right.
That's the only thing that it does take some time to render the video. But
we showed you Suno.
Yeah, Suno's amazing. That blew my mind.
Yeah, it was funny because so Special Mike, for those that don't know, he's one of our team writers at the Boonies, and he's ridiculously good. Trying to explain his skill level, because I was saying he's like a top level pro skater, but he doesn't skate like you'd see on any of these like famous videos. I said he's the Nigel Houston of Mike Vallely's, and instantly every skateboarder understands completely what I'm saying, but you guys have no idea.
No idea.
But anyway, he's trying to do, like there's been a couple times in the past few days where he's trying to land a trick, and we made this AI song 4 months ago where it's a pop punk song where the guy just says, Special Mike is the greatest skateboarder. And then he's trying to do this trick, so I just turn it on. He lands it right away.
Really?
And then he was trying to do a kickflip indie. It's a trick off, over this gap. And he's falling. He gives up. And I was like, oh, come on. I know you can do this. I put the song on, and the pop punk song turns on. And then he lands it right away. And then one of the other pros here is like, what is this? Like, who wrote this song about Special Mike? And I was like, what do you mean? You've never heard this one? This is a classic pop punk song from like 2003 about Special Mike, the greatest skateboarder. Yeah, how could you have not? And then we wrote one about him. And then he's just like, what is happening? When people don't know what Suno is and you hear a pop punk song that sounds like it's from 2006 and they're singing about you and what you do with your life, you're like, how is this possible?
Yeah.
Now imagine what kids are going to grow up with. You know, it used to be difficult to make a song. And when a song was about something, it was like looking at a stone monolith. You don't know how long it took to build. Someone had to chisel.
You have to learn an instrument.
That's interesting.
But it was studio recordings. It was multiple people. It was a singer. And so when they sang, it was akin to a large statue. Now it's like Play-Doh. Now you turn on a speaker and and it's Donald Trump singing Gangster's Paradise.
I've noticed when I record myself doing something and I watch it over and over and over again, it becomes easier to replicate it. So when I hit those notes in a song, the really hard ones, I can do it easier because I've seen myself do it so many times. So if I forged an AI of me doing something challenging, I wonder if that would make it easier for me to actually
if you just have to see it, like do something that is out of your kind of...
And I believe I can do it because I've seen myself do it so many times.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah, this AI stuff is getting crazy, man.
It is. But yeah, I like they're going to try like that. The Jake Tapper thing is he had Amy Klobuchar on and she's trying to put together some bill. But again, it's a First Amendment issue.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
if I this is what I was saying before, if I can do an impersonation or an impression of Donald Trump, why can't I use a tool to simulate it? What's the difference?
Absolutely. And now if I started trying to do some, something that I guess would, create civil unrest. And again, whatever technology I have access to, which is open source and cheap, the North Korean or the Chinese government, they have 10 versions ahead of this. They could do probably some wild stuff.
The crazy thing is when you stop seeing deepfakes is when you should be scared.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's for sure. The difference is impressions and impersonations. It's the difference because if you're doing an impression of someone, you're good. But as soon as you start to impersonate, especially a politician.
If you're impersonation implying you are intending to deceive someone that you are them for the sake of some kind of gain or whatever.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's like what I'm doing is definitely covered by the First Amendment and parody law, but they wrote those laws. AI wasn't a thing. They were like, yeah, of course you can put on a wig and pretend to be Donald Trump. Right.
But even just voice.
Voice, yeah.
And a lot of people do a really good Donald Trump voice.
Yeah.
So the AI is not a perfect Trump voice, but it's close enough to where people might think
it's not perfect.
And if you get a really good impression from someone, they might be like, oh, that sounds a lot like Trump.
And I mean, Gavin Newsom's AI bill, which obviously was mostly nonsense, but part of it was like, hey, you can't just, if you're a Hollywood studio, you can't take some actor and just use their voice.
Yeah.
Right? But I am.
And Hollywood's over.
Hollywood is
we're like I was saying before we're a couple of years out, but it could be sooner than that, where you just sit down on your TV and there's going to be an app called it's going to be called like Hollywood Star or something, and you're going to say, render me a movie about Spider-Man, but he wants to be a stand-up comedian, and so he hangs out with Danny Polishchuk, and then he succeeds, and it will be like rendering, and then it'll take like 15-20 minutes, and then it'll play, and you will literally watch a full movie with Spider-Man. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.